Hello, 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 hello. Let me get this banner off this thing. Hopefully you all, well, whoever's here. Can you hear me? Is there anybody out there? Is this thing working? We're going to do a live stream real quick here. So get your digits to me. I'm going to try to get to as many people as possible. And this is kind of a spillover from the Saturday night where we can't get all the charts in. So we're going to try and do that. Thank you for letting me know. You can hear me. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had been wanting to do this for weeks and today just kind of worked out. So we're doing it. Just go with the flow. Let's see. So I've got a chart up already. We don't have time for the usual whatevers. My name is G. You're watching Allastrology. And I look at your astrology chart. Some people can afford to send a little money, a channel gift, and I spend more time on their charts. However, if you don't have the means to do that, we can still give you a quick look and give you what we call a speed reading. Okay? So DRARTINARAY. I've got your digits. Stacy, I see you. Hello. I already have you. Yeah. So Stacy, you were first in the line. Are we pulling you up here? Are you still with me? Do Aurora first. Okay. We can finish mine since I got tech difficult. Yeah, that's another thing I want to mention. YouTube, StreamYard's telling me that YouTube is struggling, I guess, having technical difficulties with live streams. So that might be a case for us. I just thought I'll press go live and see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And here we are. So we'll see how long this works. So let's get a chart on the screen. Before I do that, well, actually I can do it at the same time, I think. Can I multitask? It's not really multitasking. We're going to get this chart on the screen. And I got to get my my stuff. I got to smoke it up a little bit. Hold on. All right, so we got to do that, clear the air, get it all good, get everything set, get everybody in a nice. Hello, we're back. All right, now let's get this chart on the screen. Let's see what we're looking at. Oh, Lord, do I need to be that big? No, I don't. How do I get small? Okay, how about that? Will that work? It works for me. Alrighty, it got serious. It went all black on us, huh? We lost all the blue stuff, kind of deep and dark and weird. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this chart. And oh, yeah, I know. I have been feeling the pressure, so I'm not sure what the hell's going on in your life and probably some of the other folks, but just a lot of pressure for me to get on here and do this. I'm like, "Okay, damn it, shit, I'll do it." Like, let me get some ducks in the order here and let me get some things going. Okay. All right, so you are, yeah, I saw, yeah, interesting. I already saw that. Saggy rising, Pisces moon. We got Mars up here. You got Mars. Ooh, God, here we go. This makes a lot of sense. So you have a lot of stuff in Pisces, 27, 28. A lot of wounds from the past, a lot of kind of like opening in the can of worms and kind of almost maybe a sense of feeling blindsided, but deeply karmic emotional stuff. This is going to be connected possibly with people who are like peers, friends, neighbors, siblings, coworkers. All right. Um, there's strong mom energy here, the past as well, especially since you have a Pisces moon. This makes one extra sensitive, empathic. You know, it's the sponge of the zodiac. So we always have to set up substantial, healthy boundaries with our Pisces energy. You have it in the third house. And that's your mind, your thoughts, your thinking, your communication style, which can be extremely tricky in terms of what you're saying, but also what you're receiving because of the possible high likelihood for confusion, especially when we add the emotions to it, the emotional element to it can be tricky. Now, your moon tells me you can get fired up at times, especially over issues about self or small children, even. Um, there's something there about fun and a sense of innocence also, but also kind of like being the leader or a pioneer type of energy. And in all the themes talking about Pisces, all the, sound, music, video, imagery, creativity, imagination, prayer, meditation, healing. Healing is big for the Pisces stuff. So you have Mars right here at this time. And anytime we find Mars somewhere, Mars can inflame things and make it a little bit more tricky, to say the least. However, I see that you also have your Neptune in Scorpio, and the Neptune talking to your Mars a couple of days ago. So this might have made things, there might have been some understanding. There might have been a little bit more. Um, it's more along the lines of feeling connected with unity and oneness and not so much about fight, but like, let's take action to get along type of energy. And now that Mars pulled away from that and is touching some of these other things, there's just a lot here that's compounded from the past and the karmic stuff. So this is not going to last forever. Okay. This is not something that you have to, let wear you down. Time's gonna pass and you're gonna move right along. Matter of fact, it's gonna be a lot more optimistic. Really, seriously, like within 2 days' time. Within 2 days' time. Now, from now until then, there can be some moments of pretty tricky energy. Okay, there can be some moments, especially since Mars 28, 29. Some people, their physical bodies can be extra sensitive. So let me take just a real quick look here for the Mars in your chart. Yeah, up there at 11 degrees. Okay, interesting. Okay, so when you have a Mars at 11, I want you to see this real quick. Mars at 11, it's in Libra, so it's, taking action and kind of a leadership quality within relationships. However, Mars likes to be independent, and at that degree, definitely a little bit of feisty independence where it has to establish not just the boundaries, but it might even have the ability to be detached and to walk away or to just be fiercely independent. And yeah, if it's not understood by others, it can definitely kind of might seem as though someone can be a little standoffish even at times. Because you not only have Mars at 11, but you have Mars' sister, feisty ass Eris, in Aries at 11 as well. So this is like ready to rumble energy, big time, especially with like electricity. This is fire and electricity mixed together. So this tells us the story about what's happening with this Mars that's touching in with your Pisces. So again, thinking, talking, communication, siblings, neighbors, coworkers. I mean, anybody who's a peer. Anybody who's a peer. It is social media. It is online stuff. It is some of that. So there can be some weird backdoor communications you're getting or whatnot, or that you're giving. Who the hell knows? It's give and take, goes both ways. But because you're feisty Mercury at 0 degrees in Sag and your sun at Sag, holy crap. These are the ones who are the teachers, the preachers, they've got to share big time. So I'm hoping that, you'll see, like I said, a couple days time, by Thursday, things should seem a lot different and a little bit more optimistic. And hopefully, I realize that Mars going into Aries can be quite spicy, quite feisty, and amp things up. And this is for all of us. Mars going into, I don't know if I said into Aries, the sign of its rulership. So it is going to actually, it can create some difficulties within relationships because Mars wants to, it's the do it alone energy. It's I am first. It's about me. It's just a time where we're realizing we have to compromise. There has to be a compromise, and we just have to be able to use words and try to be as calm as possible so that we can clearly communicate those words and so we can all move forward. And that's pretty much for myself as well as for anybody else. It's just the reality of life. All right, so let's move on. I hope that helps. And I do have you in the system. Yeah, I was able to save you. I'm just so glad that it worked out, that was your chart. Sometimes it gets me a little tricky. So Stacy, iSharp said, how did you get my email? I didn't. YouTube would have gotten your email. But you're here. iSharp is Laura. So does that mean I have you in my system? Let's go take a peek. Well, actually, comment and let me know if you're still here, iSharp. Sometimes people kind of bebop around, and if you don't have patience, that's okay. I go to the next person. I just go to the next person. You are welcome. You are welcome. I'll call you Dr. Art. How about that? Yes. Let me scroll down and see who's still here. Stacy's like, I'll go next. What the hell? Donna Marie's here. What's going on, Donna Marie? Karmic Karen is saying hello. How are you, Karmic Karen? Doctor of Holistic Medicine and Pet. Oh, that's that Saggy. That matches. Absolutely. And all that Pisces energy. Absolutely. Dr. Art. Okay, that came through at the end. That's good. I didn't even see that you were saying that. I'm like, okay, Dr. Art. Okay, so Stacy said, all right, Stacy, let me get you in here. General reading real quick. And then Donna said she sent me someone's digits. All right, Donna, I saw that. Let me get to it. Let me get Stacy on here real quick in this reading. Yeah. Let's get this up here. No, that's Stacy. Okay, there we go. We got you. Let's see if this is going to. Oh, okay. I should probably switch that out, huh? All right, we're going to do that. Okay. And then let me get my big head out of there a little bit. I always keep trying to find a way to get that chart bigger. I don't think it makes the chart bigger. Okay, let me get that freaking comment off there that I, for some reason, I didn't even know I clicked on that off. Yeah, there we go. All right, Stacy, let's take care of what you got going on here. Yeah, it's like a whole new thing, a whole new world, a different chart completely. All right. So now for you, Mars is up here, right at your midheaven. Yeah. hopefully this makes sense for you. You got that Scorpio at 29 degrees, major stuff. Anytime we see 29 degrees in a chart, major stuff with the Saturn trining it. So you're always thinking of the long term, and definitely the long term in terms of things being organized. That's for damn sure. Mars, there's a new object here that I started. This is Nefertiti you have right at your midheaven. And can't remember if we talked about this last time. Yeah, drawing strength or power from relationships with others. And I would say that this is definitely a karmic thing in so many different ways, because the past and the Scorpio energy, Pluto, yeah, the soul's energy, super strong here with that Scorpio stuff. Psychic, just super strong, deeply energetic, bonded stuff. But it just talks about the inner beauty and grace that we can draw from to enhance our outer beauty. It's where we may appear to be kind of mysterious and have that mysterious little something extra that others find iconic. Nefertiti was this wife of the pharaoh, right? She ruled as pharaoh after the pharaoh's death. It's a pretty powerful spot in a person's chart when it's at their midheaven, ma'am. I'm like, should I bow? Considering you've got Saturn trining that. That's amazing. You have this grand water trine with that too. So your Mars is at 17, and having Mars up in this area, it might, speak to going forward, taking action with what it is that you've been, like a long-term goal, something you just have been consistently working with. And if it's at Scorpio, Scorpio's talking about healing energy. It's talking about changing, it's transforming, ascending, not just simply, moving furniture, changing. Do you know what I'm saying? Scorpio doesn't mess around with frivolous crap. It's deeply meaningful stuff. It's, as I call the meat and the potatoes on the plate. It doesn't mess around with, the freaking parsley or anything there. It kicks that shit off, actually. And it's like, no, we want the real deal. And it's very super intense energy. So with that said, you're going to, according to this, because you have Juno now in Gemini at the opposition. Okay. Which, think about that, right? Right before 0 degrees would be 29 Taurus. This means partnerships with people, and possibly marriage partnerships, people where you would be romantically inclined even, where they would be equally as intense. It's at 0 degrees, and you even have Sirius there. And so that's kind of the energy that you're going to be, that's going to be drawn to you, and you're going to be drawn to. There's going to be a lot of that soulful stuff, but communication and talking, huge. Now, I know writing has recently come up. You made a quick mention of talking about, writing about deeply meaningful stuff, even though it can be done in a nonfiction way, which I think is awesome. Absolutely awesome. There's something really freeing about talking about real shit when you present it as nonfiction. It's so freeing. It's amazing. And I say go for it. The fact that we're going to have this Uranus energy entering into Gemini, right? This is for everybody. It'll be entering into your 4th house. So again, Uranus coming through using technology, but touching on Gemini, which is a fresh mind, fresh words, fresh ideas, surprising, shocking, but new, different, and quite independent, and possibly using technology. So whether that means you take the stuff you're working on and utilize it in that way, but home is a big deal with the 4th house. Home, family, this can be property, this can be where you live, this can be, if you were thinking about moving before, you might be thinking more seriously about it now, because disruptive Uranus will be going through there. Now, I will have to add something here. Uranus in general, especially for those who have like Uranus energy in their Virgo stuff, like you do natally. This is, we think, the large appliances in the home, stuff like that. And, Virgo is the domestic stuff, right? Regular part of everyday life. So, there can just be, this is on the fritz. That's not working properly. You got to call the landlord, or you got to say, hey, I need a repairman for this or that, because that's Uranian energy, just in general. All right. It likes to, yeah, test our levels of patience. So it might be a good idea knowing it's going through that fourth house, and it will be squaring, not right away, of course, but it will be eventually squaring your Uranian energy. If there's stuff that you've been needing to take care of and haven't, might be just a good time to like get a jump on it. The good news is that Uranus energy going through there, really, we want to initiate it because we want new. We want different with Uranus energy. We find different exciting with Uranus energy, even if that means changing up some stuff in the home, like whether it's moving things around or making repairs. Obviously, we want to have the money to take care of that. But the big picture is different and new, because that is the excitement factor. So this is Uranus will go into Taurus no more. So you will have Uranus in your fourth house until 14. No, wait a minute. Where are we looking here? Oh no, I'm sorry, your fourth house. It doesn't pick up until 14 degrees. So you have Uranus in your third house. Let me backtrack that. I'm sorry. You've got that chart where it gets really tiny. Let me go like this for my own sake of my own eyeballs. Here we go. So it looks like, oh no, it does say 29 degrees begins your fourth house. Okay. We're good. We're good. Everything I said, valid. Everything I said, valid. All right. So before I get all crazy and start backtracking, everything I said is all good. And the timeline, as far as how long Uranus is going to be in your fourth house and in your talking, communicating, and writing. And remember, fourth house is my emotions. So writing about all those things. It's not going to enter that fifth house it's going to be 3.5, 4 years in your fourth house. And then it goes into your fifth house. And that's all about creativity. So I think this is super positive in terms of creative, especially creative writing, and especially writing about the past history, and including whatever you feel was your experience, for sure. Okay, let me move on. Here we go. Okay, so iSharp. Is iSharp still here? Did I ever get a comment from iSharp saying I'm still here? 443. Oh yeah, iSharp said I'm still. iSharp, do I have your digits? Because if I don't, well, then I have to pass you. Sorry. And if you did send me money, let me know, because a lot of times you guys send me stuff or you send me an email and it doesn't match the name I'm seeing in the chat. And that means I have to turn into super detective, and I don't have time for that. You got to tell me who you are straight up front, which means you can do it, in the email, which means nobody else knows that it's you. It's just between you and I, and that's fine. Okay. Got you. All right. Aurora 2820. Okay. I got you. But is that iSharp? That's the question. Who's the iSharp person? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, Donna Maria's next? Okay. No, iSharp would be next. I'm looking at it. Stacy, am I wrong? It says Stacy was here first, then it says Dr. Art, which I already did, and then it was iSharp. It was I have the timestamps, 422, 423, 424. Yeah, I'm going to read for Donna, but I don't want to cheat anybody. And God knows I have a hard enough time keeping track of shit. So I'm trying to figure out, yes, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift, Donna. I'm going to get to you. And let me see who this person is so I know who this. Oh, okay. You're welcome, Dr. Art. Thank you so much for the generous gift. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. So, did you get my email? Well, can you tell me? The only thing that matches are the numbers. I see some 8s. It says, like, come on, Help me out quickly. Did I get your email? Well, how about this? Who's going to claim this? May 28th, 1991. How about that? All right, let's see. This one's saying that they're in my system as Laura. And if not, I just gave out a birth date. And who's going to claim that birth date? May 28th. Who's claiming that? LU. Okay, I don't have a. Yeah, see, if I have to play detective, then all these other folks are waiting. And it makes no sense. And yeah, it's just not right. May 28th, 1991. So iSharp, I see now that in the chat you're putting August 4th. I'm assuming that's August 4th and not the other way around. Not April 8th, although it could be. I would need a city. I would need a birth time. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're clearly... okay. Really not trying to be the big bad wolf for anybody, but come on, guys. You just don't know my struggles. All right, let's get your chart in here. Let's get you. Well, Stacy, that means that you're on the vertical format. If you don't see anybody putting anything in the chat, you must be looking at the vertical format. You want to go to the horizontal. Yeah, there's two lives. Thank you, April, for saying that. There's a vertical, there's a horizontal. It's a StreamYard thing. You know, some people don't like holding their phone horizontal. Some people don't want to look at the chart. I get it. I totally get it. Okay, iSharp, I'm creating this right now real quick for you. You're lucky I have patience. Some days I'm just like, next. So that is August 4th, 1975, correct? Your numbers say 84, and you were born in the U.S., so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Okay, we're getting you in here, 6:30 a.m. Okay. And what do we got here? Oh, now maybe I have you in here as iSharp. I don't know. It's a possibility. I don't have many births from Salt Lake City, to be honest with you. Now that I'm writing this, I'm creating this chart, I'm like, I think this is the first and last time I ever created it. All right, so this person is a Leo rising at 11 degrees, a Mercury at 14, a Sun at 11 degrees, all in Leo. Yeah, I think I've seen this chart before, right? Your moon is a 1 degree of Cancer. Let me get this chart up in this thing. There we go. All right, the blue is back. I don't know why. The blue, yeah. It's a thing for me. I see like blue flames, like blue sparklers and stuff, blue flames. That's like my light or whatever. Yeah, that's my thing. That's the visuals I get. I get blue flames. So I'm drawn to that. All right. There we go. Hopefully that's a bigger chart. All right, let me get a sip of this water. iSharp, okay. You got a Mars at 23 degrees. Let me double check and make sure. Yes, okay. Thank you. Oh, it's L sharp. Damn. All right, I'll fix that in a second. Ooh, I see you. I see you. Okay. Okay, so Mars is going to be making its move. Now, right now, Okay. So for you, yeah, I don't know why it's a Mars day. It just is. Oh, you know why? It's literally a Mars day. That's that's what it is. That's why freaking now I get it. Okay. All right. Yeah, because Mars just keeps jumping out big time. So this Mars, yours is 23, which is uh yeah, for Taurus energy, which is usually going to be cautious movements with Mars and Taurus, which is it's not going to just kind of fly off the handle. It's going, I mean, it can get wicked. It can give you the horns if you test its patience for too long. But a Mars at that degree is going to have less patience than other Mars energy in Taurus, just so you know. Now, with that said, we have the Pisces energy with Mars in it. And so Mars is sitting up here, right here on your ninth house cusp line of higher knowledge, higher learning, of long distance travels, of, religion and philosophy on life. But yeah, maybe even thinking of going traveling. It can be meditation, it can be off the planet kind of traveling, even though you're sitting down, that kind of stuff, because you have Jupiter in your ninth house in Aries in the ninth. Whoa. All right. So what's going to happen now as Mars gets into that ninth? Man, I even think I might have talked about this already. Big time taking action and even possibly travel, because Aries doesn't like to sit still. So again, just like the other chart, in a couple of days' time, we're going to see Mars showing up. And oops, we got to get the now chart. Geez, that was freaky. Yeah, we're going to see Mars showing up for you, going right into your ninth house on Thursday. It's already a little bit there, but it's still in Pisces, I guess is what I'm saying. It'll go into Aries on Thursday. And so that's the very different energy, very much more feistier than it was or has been. And you have a lot of fire energy, especially in Leo. So that Mars is going to be trining all of that. We just all have to remember fire burns. When there's too much of it, when it gets too big, when somebody gets too close to it, we can burn them with our fire. And so we kind of just have to take a step back and be aware of our own power, our own heat, our own fire. The good news is that Saturn is there, so it kind of tapers it a little bit. It kind of tempers it. It kind of gives a little bit of discipline. So now what's going to happen for you? Right now you have this Saturn, which has been giving you restrictions and slowdowns, possibly with something with maybe travel plans. But this is that fifth house cusp, children, fun, joy, creativity. Saturn makes shit really serious. And when it angles something directly or conjunct it just says, it makes it feel heavier, like a burden even. So whether that's the romance department or children, or maybe you just don't feel the joy flowing as normal, as easily, because Saturn steps in and says, but we have to take care of these responsibilities first. Even if you can't see the responsibilities, it may just make shit heavier. It makes it feel like, yeah, something is more of a burden. And what's going to be that something? Your beliefs. Plain and simple, your thoughts about the future, possibly, whatever your dreams for the future were and your plans. Saturn says, oh, but look at the reality of things. Now, you do have this tricky little Pallas Athena right here at the matching degrees of Saturn. This is super beneficial. She's super intelligent. She's strategic. And having Saturn behind her, I think this is actually a good matching up, because they can be strategic together. Because Saturn says, the reason I'm slowing things down and I'm giving you these restrictions and these rules is because I want you to succeed for the long term. So with that said, that can be wonderful in terms of the romance department, the fun, the creativity, the travel, the joy, and the laughter. You even have Leo in your 12th house. So as Mars moves along and gets past that Saturn, which it will, and it's not going to be forever. Mars is going to pull on past, but that's not going to be till like the third week of April. Until that time, things might see a little bit on the tricky side in terms of, well, where's all that damn fun and joy and creativity? Okay, but once Mars pulls away from Saturn, you're lighting up all your dreams, all your Leo energy of fun and being independent and getting out there and just having a good time. And then communication will be big as well too, because we'll have Mercury and Mars together. So whether it's siblings, coworkers, neighbors, but dreams about the future, possibly, this looks like your first house really lights up with Mars and Mercury going through the Aries energy. And with your first house, it's my appearance and my physical body, maybe even hair, but standing out, looking different, being different, something that catches people's eye, something very authentic, super strong, individualistic energy, extremely independent. But it's like you got fire and air under your wings. Once we get to about like at the 19th or the 20th, I got on the chart there. Yeah, you'll feel it then. So hopefully it feels freeing for you. Just remember about the fire. It can burn others. I see Christy. I see Mary Homeopathy. I want to get in line. Mary Homeopathy. Did you get your digits in here? Oh, I think I know who Mary Homeopathy is. Yeah, I do. Yeah, the trick on these live streams is the sooner you get your name and you say hello in the chat, in the queue, because the queue is what actually forms the line. The chat is the queue. All right, so now is Stacy. Stacy might have left. She has a life. I know that. That's okay. I think, okay, we got that. We got that. Okay. Okay. So according to this, it would say that Dr. Art, Aurora 288. Are you still here? Yo, what's up, Aurora 2? You sent me an email. Are you still here? Comment below if you're still here. If you're not, I'm moving on. Matter of fact, thank you, L Sharp. You are a lot of people at that 888. I think that's what threw me off. And April, if you're on the list, if you're in the chat, but I got to get your birth digits to me. Okay, Aurora, are you still here? I see you threw your digits down, and I did get your email, which makes life a lot easier. Let's see here. Let's get this going on here. Aurora, are you still here? Okay, going once, going twice. Aurora, it is your turn. I got your stuff. I see, but if you're not here, I'm going to move on. All right, I'm moving on. Going once, going twice for Aurora. And after Aurora, I believe it's Mary Homeopathy. I'm just going according to the order of the queue here. So Mary Homeopathy, I see a blue screen. Yeah, I'm here. And you know I'm here. Yeah. Okay. So Mary Homeopathy, let me go get you and see if I've got you in this system here. Hopefully I do. And if I don't, because the last time I read for you might have been in the other system. And I might have you under a different name. Oh, no, I have you. You were here before. Excellent. Good job. Excellent. Yay. We got a chart. Woohoo. Look at that. We're on the screen. Look how fast that was. See how smooth? That's what I like. I don't got to squint and freaking get headaches. Yes. All right. So I switched the desktop. Yes. It's your turn. It's confusing. Well, no, just find the horizontal live stream and don't go anywhere else. You follow? I see you, Stacy. Thank you. So Mary Homie, Aurora is here. Well, okay, Aurora, then you're going to have to go right after Mary Homeopathy. All right, so Healing Readings by Donna, you're probably after Mary Homeopathy. I'm sorry, after Aurora. Yep. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Donna, the confusion is that Stacy couldn't see all of the chat. So I apologize for that mix up. Okay, Aurora, you're going to go right after Mary Homeopathy and Healing Readings. You're going right after Aurora, okay? All righty. I've got Mary Homeopathy on the screen, so that's where it's at. I know that it can be delayed, but yeah. Okay, so, oh, Mars going through your 7th house now. All right, let's see what's going to happen there. Right. So right now, Mars is in your 7th house of partnerships. Now, let me look at something real quick for you. Okay. You got Mars at 24 in Gemini. Okay. This is assertive communications, assertive minds. They can be aggressive. They might even be backdoor kind of communications, just so you're aware. And let's see here. All righty. Yeah. So this Mars is squaring. It's more like a quincunx. It's the uncomfortableness with the authority, and you being the authority of your life, being challenged a little bit by some Martian energy, aggressive, assertive energy, possibly. Again, not going to last long, because remember, everybody, Mars is not only just going to go into Aries, it's going to touch Neptune. And so just so that we're all aware, when Mars touches that Neptune energy, our physical bodies, some folks are going to absolutely need to rest more than usual, going to need to go to sleep. And I also want to add something here. It isn't even just only about the rest, where people are like, oh yeah, I didn't get any sleep, so obviously I need rest. It's not just that. Neptune is substances, okay? So in other words, if you normally have a drink of wine after dinner, or maybe you have a couple of drinks, at this time, you may be more sensitive to it than usual. So for some people who have to take prescriptions on a regular basis, anytime we mix, the Neptune energy and Mars energy together, we could find that, it's a little bit more powerful than usual. Okay. So that's going to be done and over with and cleared by like April 14th. It's going to be, did I say April 14th? Yeah, April 14th, April 15th, when Mars has pulled away and cleared that Neptune energy. In the meantime, okay, this is going to challenge the Libran energy. You've got a lot of Libran energy in your 1st house, okay? So with Mars in your 9th house and Mars being, let me double check something here for you. Okay, so Mars is your great malefic in your chart. So Mars being the great malefic in partnerships. Now you have a south node, you have a vertex. Okay, you've got some stuff coming up. Okay, so the Aries energy, you have a lot of strong energy in your chart. You've got this south node in Aries, and when people have that, they are just, they're not the people who just sit around. They take action, So this is your south node. It's who you are, but it's also who the partnership people are, right? Now, the south node does talk about a release and a let go. It talks about, it includes our superpowers, but the whole goal of it is to release some of those past superpowers. Like, we've mastered them already. We don't need to keep messing around with them. We need to learn the spirit of compromise, which is the north node. Your north node is down here. Not to say that you don't do that, but it really wants you to learn to be more of the diplomat, a little bit more diplomatic in the way that you are communicating, presenting, the way that you're relating with other people. Fairness is a big deal. Not that you're not, but the thing here is there's going to be a strong connection, not just with the public, but more likely strongly with feminine energy. There's a lot of history here, a lot of soul and karmic type of energy here. Some call this fated energy. Actually, for you, this is doubly fated. So for you specifically, This is kind of coming in big here. This is going to get triggered. Yeah, this is going to get triggered. So April 22nd-ish, 20th, that week, April 20th. Yeah, you're going to have Mercury and Mars coming together, touching a lot of things. They touch your Eris, which means I can get feisty and angry, but so can the people who I relate with. Partnerships. These are also our professional partnerships, okay? Seventh house is also known as the house of our open enemies. I don't normally ever say stuff like that just because it just seems like such a, I don't know, like God, so doom and gloomy, right? But because you have Aries here, and Aries tends to be fighters, they tend to be feisty. Now, I just, want to keep that there because it's important to include that with that kind of energy. But it can also be releasing old relationships because I'm starting new ones, and they can be professional. So just keep in mind that there's a lot of fated energy connected to this. And so for all the releases that you may make, you will be making new partnerships, new, whether it's personal, professional, both. That is the whole guarantee with, because your vertex is part of this as well. Strong energy with the past and strong energy with the future. But you have this really, really powerful thing in your chart where when a release ends, it's automatically connected to a new beginning in relationships, personal and professional. So that's coming up. It's starting April 22nd. And you will see, you're going to see movement. Now, remember, this kind of movement can be tricky, but this is strong pioneer energy. So if you're going with something new, something that is about being the pioneer, not necessarily I have to be the leader, but it's just something I haven't done before, has something I haven't thought of or hadn't considered, something a little outside of the box for certain. You're going to be in this energy in these partnerships. It's going to be strong until the end of April. Strong until the end of April. And lines of communications will be open, possibly with foreigners, foreign lands, foreign countries, because you have an open line in your third house with places that are far away. And then your 11th house with group energy. You've got Saturn there. Nice, because that establishes work and establishes long-term commitments and partnerships and relationships. So if you're going through a hard time right now, there should be change. There should be change. And if you're courageous and willing to move forward and you're open to change, then I would say to roll with it, because this is the kind of energy you really can't fight. This is fated energy. This is soul energy. So hopefully that makes sense for you. All right, now we go to Aurora. Aurora, it says you are here. Let me get your chart in here. Aurora, are you still here? I want to make sure before I pull this chart up, before I even do all that. I know this is where we were before, and I realize there's a lag, a delay. So, Aurora, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get your name, say hello in the chat again so that I know you're here. I keep hearing the old school Michael Jackson song, Maria. Aurora, are you here? If you feel up to one more, Wild Moon Kitty. Wild Moon Kitty, thank you for telling me your name. Thank you. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if Aurora is still here. Aurora, are you here? Aurora, your name's got to be back in on the chat because you're up. Hello, hello, hello. Is Aurora out there? All right, Aurora, I'm waiting to see your name in the chat. Going once. Come on now. If you don't pop up when I call your name, I realize y'all got to walk away, get something to eat, go smoke a cigarette, whatever it is you got to go do. But you got to understand my position. If you're not here when I call your name, I got to move on. If you're here, please let me know, or I will move on. $7:44 a.m. Alrighty. Let's see. Did Aurora show up? Ahaha, Aurora's here. Excellent. Thank you. I'm getting you in there right now. I'm about to pull you up on the screen. Yes, I am. Oh, somehow I lost your birth. Oh, I got it. Okay. I'm like, I know I saw the birth city. We gotcha. Question is, can I spell it? All righty. There we go. Excellent. Have you seen your chart before? I have a Virgo rising at 15 degrees. Virgo rising with another Leo sun. Holy shit. This is like the third Leo sun at 29 degrees. If this is your chart, this is wild. Haven't I already looked at 2 charts with Leo suns at 29? Holy crap. I'm sorry, I'm a man. Sir, you're a Leo sun at 29? I'm a Gemini. A Gemini sun, huh? Okay. Let me double check your digits that you left. Maybe sometimes the digits get moved around. Let me double check your stuff here. We discussed the birth time. Here we go. Where the heck is that birth time at? Oh. Well, God, no wonder. I totally had the wrong. What the hell? How did that happen? Yeah, no wonder. It had your birth. Okay. All right, how about this one? Gemini sun at 7 degrees. How about this one? Let me get it on the screen. I have a Cancer ascendant. How about that? Is that more like it? Cancer sun. I'm sorry. Gemini sun, Cancer rising. And I've got your moon at 7 degrees in Libra. Oh my God. A sun and a moon that trine. How nice. Yeah, you're a Cancer rising, all right. I know. I saw the 29 degrees, and I thought I just looked at two charts already with 29 degrees Leo sun. Like, holy crap. No, this is a Gemini rising. Or I'm sorry, Gemini sun. Right there, Gemini sun. Okay. Ooh, no wonder. Holy crap, Mars conjunct the 23 degrees Aries with Venus. Holy crap. Okay, vertex at 23. Holy smokes. So, wow. You just, amazing. South node at 23 degrees. Oh, one of my favorite people has that. South node at 23 degrees. Anybody know who that might be? It's a well-known famous person. It's not like I know the person. South node at 23 degrees. Take a guess. Anybody? All right. Well, y'all guessing. Yeah, you have some very strong, independent, I'm the authority of my life, damn it, in your chart. Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so we're in the today's Mars, so we're doing Mars, and yeah, you got Mars hanging out over in your 10th house of career and goals, and what I'm doing to build my material financial security. What I like for you is that Mars will still be in your 10th house. And remember, Mars is what we take action with. So I like that in terms of lining up with all of your freaking Leo energy you have in the money house. See all this? Here, let me get rid of this. Oh, here comes a kitty. Hold on. Let me go shut this door. I got somebody else, so I don't want to be too loud for it. Oh, we're knocking stuff down. Come on. You can come and sit down. Come on. Oh, okay. Okay, got shit falling everywhere. Okay. So, you see your stuff in Leo? You got something at 0? Yeah, it's all in your second house. Then you've got your Saturn at 11, boss energy. The thing about Saturn in the second house, especially in terms of money and income and values, sometimes, especially, well, you've got Leo there, so that can be boss energy on its own, but super creative energy is Leo. Really creative, very colorful energy. The problem with the Saturn in the second, sometimes it can be a problem when it can make things slow down, income, money, right? It can be burdensome and slow. So that can make life tricky. However, we have Saturn up here in Aries, so you're going to have eventually a Saturn trine Saturn in terms of income and money. So I am liking this for you. You see Saturn up here at 6? Now, I know there's a lot on this chart, but as Mars comes along, it might give a little spurt. It might give her a little spark to the money and the income. And again, 11 degrees, this freaking Uranus energy, astrology, science, technology is big. You've got it all over. It's like Aquarian energy is written all over your chart in so many places, in so many different signs. Technology, unique, inventive. You even have it within relationships, different, unusual. Hello, beautiful girl. Group energy, humanitarian energy even. So that's lovely, one of my favorite energies. And so your Saturn is, yeah, same thing. So when Mars is moving, let me give you a little bit of a timeline when you can feel like a little bit of a bump here with the Mars energy, because you're going to have Mars and Mercury together, see? So they're going to be talking to your Saturn right there. So this is like April 21st. And this is in your house of values and money and income. It is also responsibilities and duty. And sometimes things in terms, it means we might have more work than usual, or work just feels heavier than usual. We have a lot of things we got to do, right? But because you have it in the second house, it should bring you some moolah. It should bring you a gift, because Saturn's not your great malefic. Yes, Mars is, but this Mars was just talking to Saturn, so it was getting new orders. You follow? Anytime Mars touches Saturn, like it was going to do, according to this, the week before April 21st, it would kind of is what I call it gets new orders, because Saturn is the boss. It's the general. Mars is the soldier, right? So it gets new orders. So there might be new work possible. And if you have a job, or even if you're not working, what's your birth? Yeah, you're still working. So whatever it is, some new thing to help build your long-term material financial security. There might be a nice little nudge here. And even if it's not like, it doesn't mean like a deposit in the bank, but there's news, Mercury, news, information, something I'm going to take action on, something I want to keep working towards. Okay. The other thing too is, yeah, okay, that's why. So the Mercury, natally, you have Mercury squaring your Saturn all the time. What happens when we have that is we can kind of, like with authority figures, when they have things to say or talk about or show their authority upon us, that can be challenging. So there might be challenges with authority figures in terms of communication. I know Taurus energy because it's really fixed, and Leo energy. And these are like, two bulls button heads in the pasture. So at this time, there might be some friction that you're feeling in terms of either the way that somebody communicates or the messenger, whatever it is. So it might feel like it's a mixed bag of, oh, great, so I got this, but I have to deal with this shit type of thing. That might happen, but it isn't going to be for long, because your Mercury up in the sky is going to talk to your Venus, which is good. Then they're going to talk to your South Node and your Mars. Now, with that energy, because your South Node's going to be there, remember, just like I said in the other person's chart, this kind of energy can be the energy of letting go of something, letting go of the past. Now, there might be some feisty, fiery independence, freedom, and stuff of your own that you're like kind of relinquishing, but it's with a promise of something new. It's not about just a complete let go and a loss. There's a new beginning that's supposed to occur here. And because it's triggering your node, the goal is the cooperation, building bridges. It is Libran energy of compromise, of learning to compromise and being able to compromise. That's where you're going to have your success. And it might feel uncomfortable. Maybe not all the time, but because of that time period I gave, starting April 22nd. And that goes, that's going to take you to the beginning of May. And then once Mars gets beyond some of the irritating, agitating energy, and we get more into the Taurus stuff, which is where there's some more peace and comfort and harmony, things can calm down a little bit more. They can be a little bit more at ease and a little bit more at peace. But I will say, even your energy might feel a little bit tapped, because the nodes up in the sky will be angling your sun. So if that happens, again, it might mean stressed communications, right? Whether it's neighbors or siblings or coworkers, whatever it is. The tricky thing is you have this Uranus energy. And so the nodes right now even have been, there's been a lot of shocks and surprises, and probably with things of the past, and maybe even finding out some stuff with the past. But children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, romantic partnerships, that kind of energy. But again, you have so much with the Uranian stuff, that independent, fiery independent, which can be quite detached even. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sitting here reading. Did someone just say, what did I just hear? So this is the wrong birth chart. Oh, wonderful. Okay. All right. We're going to have to get all the digits together in one spot where they're all together at the same time, because sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. Somehow this chart isn't you. Yeah, this is a problem. I can't read a chart that's not you. I just spent, I don't know how many minutes doing that. Okay. All right. So, if you ever want to get back in, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, send an email, and maybe you have it all together there. No, yeah. You might want to resend the email with everything together. The birth time, the digits, the year, with the city, the state, all in the same email. I apologize for that. It just makes it hard when I'm picking up bits and pieces in different places. My mistake. But yeah, send an email. That might make it better, where I can have it all drawn up accurately in a chart. But I definitely, yeah. All right. Okay, so up next is healing readings. Donna Marie, are you here? Oh, Mary Homeopathy, I didn't even see your question. Yeah, I didn't even look at the chat. I just went right to the chart and started reading. Donna's like, I'm here. Okay, thank you. All right, let me get this other chart in here real quick. Let me get it drawn up. I got your digits. I got your gift. Thank you so much for the channel gift. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. There we go. I got to get rid of this chart because it's wrong. It's wrong. Son of a bee. Okay. So Donna, should I put that name on this chart? Does that matter? Do you want that name on this chart? Okay. I got the birth time. Excellent. All righty. Let's see. What did she say? Does she want that name on this chart? That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I know. They're telling me. Have you ever seen this chart before? And maybe I have too. I apologize. I might have seen it. And I'm like, I don't know. 8:35, Calgary. Yeah, let me get this on here. Let's make sure that this is the chart. Where'd it go? There it is. It went right there. So have you seen Scorpio rising? Excellent. That's what I got. Scorpio rising, a Taurus moon, Taurus sun. Oh, okay. Okay. Lots of okays. All right. So Taurus energy, Uranus and Pluto and Isis conjunct up there. Wow. And Pandora's box. Okay. All right. Taurus can be tricky. Fixed energy in general can be tricky. But Taurus, in terms of our desires and our values, like money and love, right? So business and partnerships, but really fixed on this is mine, that's mine, and don't mess with mine. It can be tricky energy. Earth in the earth houses. Okay. All right. So let me double check. Yes. Well, yes. Did I say the word stubborn? But yeah, if I didn't, you know, you heard, you felt it. Yeah. All right. So are we looking at this just to understand the birth chart a little bit, or are we looking for something in particular? Because you sent some money, so I want to, you gifted the channel. I live it. Yeah, then you know it. You absolutely know it. You know it. And oh, yeah. Mars at 3, Sun at 1. Oh, shit. Okay. That's pretty intense. That's pretty powerful. Holy crap. Okay. Yikes. So, yeah. being the authority, taking action, but Mars with very assertive energy, and can even be a very direct communicator, even though Taurus energy tends to not be all talky, especially with the South Node in Scorpio, extremely private. Some would say, Scorpio gets called tricky, sneaky, and all this other shit. It's very deep energy. Yeah, it's just really deep energy. Yeah, very fixed for sure. Okay, so Jupiter is going to be coming up here. No, not in the fourth. I'm looking at the fourth because that's home and family, and he's got a Chiron and Saturn together at 24. And we all have Jupiter over here. So let me show this real quick. Yeah, see, Jupiter's sitting at 16. But in the next couple of months, what's happening is Jupiter moves pretty quick through the rest of the sign of Cancer. So there's going to be a nice trine. But it's a grand water trine. Well, Jupiter makes up the third of the grand water trine because it'll trigger his Chiron and his Saturn. Now, he has a wound. There's a lot of karmic stuff here. There's a wound, emotions, the past, family, and history. A lot of deep energy. He's got water in the water houses. But restrictions and slowdowns. Maybe mom was a little... this can be mom and dad energy. It can be a mixture. But this shows that... because the Saturn can be that dad figure, but there's a wound connected to the authority figure. There's this deep stuff from the past. It's really like an institutional type of stuff. So it's not just about mom and dad, but authority figures definitely as well. So I when we think way back in time, some of the oldest institutions, what are they? Religious, but cultural too, for sure, because of the 24 in the fourth house. And so some of those because family comes up big, women, but family energy and history, ancestry, that all comes up. Now, this trine is going to start coming about May, second week of May, because this is when Jupiter is going to press on the gas pedal. And it's going to be talking to his Neptune first. And at that time, the South Node will be at 5. Let me take a look here. Okay, so he already survived the South Node on his midheaven. And a South Node on a midheaven would have been a release. Sorry, I got a kitty cat messing around down below. Kind of like a superpower, but maybe some old projects, routines, and tasks, but something connected possibly with work because it's with the midheaven for sure. So whether new orders at the job, maybe some departments being, I don't know, there might have been a slowdown, or maybe something from the past came back in terms of responsibilities and duties connected. Yeah, might even have to do with foreigners, foreign lands, foreign countries, maybe traveling though. Traveling might have been part of it. So going on now to here into the future, we're looking at this Neptune connecting with his Mercury. Again, communications and information, and his Mercury in a quincunx with these nodes, or at least the node up above. Okay, let me see what else we're looking at. The Jupiter. Go back to the Jupiter. So the Jupiter trining is natal Jupiter's communications, busy mind. And this would create lots of communication, actually. He's got Jupiter at 27. However, Venus is his great benefic, not Jupiter. So the interesting piece about this makes me wonder about this Jupiter grand trine. This is why my eye was like, this was jumping out. Saturn is his great malefic in his chart. So there can be duties and responsibilities and things kicking it up a notch, whether, who is this person, 1966? Whether they have parents or a mom or somebody who may, like, duties and responsibilities may be becoming a bigger deal, or it could even just be somebody in their life that needs more help or assistance, but there's just more work involved in some way with this person that's connected to home and family, fourth house. Now, can it have to do with home and property? Sure. Can it have to do with the house and the structure, and like having to fix things, fixer-upper kind of energy, because that for sure would be domestic energy. But this big trine that Jupiter is going to bring upon to the Saturn, and Saturn being the great malefic for his chart, and his natal Saturn in the fourth house, yeah, connected to home and family. So there might be dreams about the future, but the wounds come up again as far as the responsibilities and the duties. And with Saturn, it's father time type of energy. It can slow things down, but I don't think that's going to be happening with Jupiter here. I think Jupiter is going to increase like restrictions and rules and responsibilities and duties. And again, usually water energy, there is a flow to it. So with that flow, hopefully with a person who has their natal Jupiter at 27, which is a very, it's good with communicating, it can think, and it can, if it pivots, it easily pivots, which is really, really a huge positive thing. And his great benefic Venus is here, about to touch his natal Jupiter. Remember, Venus is his great benefic. Now, I want to add something here. His Jupiter is in his 8th house. So when something's in the 8th house, especially with Venus coming by, this is insurance money sometimes, okay? It can be taxes, of course, too, but it can be connected to insurance. And I have to say inheritances even, because his vertex, he's got a vertex in the 8th house at 8 degrees in Cancer energy. This is strong when it talks about, yeah, family and family money. And maybe it's just, yeah, because this, honestly, because the nodes, as we're talking right now, are connecting to this faded vertex energy of the past, and possibly insurances and stuff like that. But it's also old wounds again comes up. Now, this can be the healing energy. It can bring that about. All right. But his Venus being down here in water and this Venus up here, going to make this contact with his Jupiter, the two great benefics of the zodiac. I think that we're talking May 12th and going all the way because Venus is not real slow, but she is going to touch his vertex. So it's like May 12th to like May... Yeah, May 23rd, May 24th, like that weekend. Oh, and even Saturn's going to get on his Eris at that time. So Saturn would have already... Okay, and Saturn comes up again for him with responsibilities and duties. And then that's when it starts to really trigger children and romance and fun and creativity and freedom, because the Saturn enters his 5th house of duty and responsibilities. So when we look at the family energy in the 4th house and home, for some of us, our parents become our children, of course, once they get older. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's literally restrictions because I've got to help my kids out. Something like that could be a thing. But in terms of career and work, because that's where Saturn's usually, signifies is the career and the work, and it's his malefic. I am just kind of wondering. Let me see if we get an angle to this. Vertex, okay. Okay, let me see if I've got some other fire over here for him. No. Okay, so what is going to occur too is he will be taking action definitely on the 20th, 19th and 20th. Mars starts to become a bigger deal because he's going to have a Mars return. So he's going to start a new Mars cycle. It's going to be Mars on top of Mars. And this is like a new 2-year cycle. And this is still in that 5th house of children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, mating, dating, relating, like that. That's all that 5th house energy. So Mars is, it's going to be traveling through there. And when it starts a new Mars cycle for the next 2 years, his Mars at 3 degrees, this, Mars, like I said before, isn't so much about talking, but using our body. And at 3 degrees, it means the body becomes very expressive, right? We use our body in terms of what we value. And so this new Mars return and this new Mars cycle is driven through what they feel is desirable and what they value. And there's a connection to the karmic energy of the past because his Venus is in Pisces. So with all that said, this is like a really crazy kind of busy time. There can be some deeply psychological stuff. So a lot of the things I talked about were in Pisces. And so for whoever's chart this is, you might not see a lot of this on the surface. A lot of this might, especially the 8th house stuff I referred to as well. And I talked about the insurance and the vertex. That's all also deeply psychological energy. So if it's deeply psychological and this isn't your chart, these might be things that, are for somebody else, but you may not visually see these things because it's psychological. It's stuff that they're either going through or considering or struggling with or are not even aware of. And so burdens and duty and responsibilities become a big deal. And so that's gonna be in the house of children, fun, romance, joy, and creativity. And the good news for this person's chart, especially when someone has Aries in their 5th house, the house of play, and play what? Mars, Aries, like either sports or play with my body, because we're using our body to have fun, right? But when Saturn enters there and will stay there, so it's going to stay there for another year, a little bit more than another year, it sobers Aries up. It matures the Aries energy. So for this person, maybe it's simply just that, a maturing of their childlike ways, the ways that they had fun, used to have fun. It can be all the things I mentioned, whether it's family members and the past, whether it's children, whether it's the child that he sees in himself and sees like who he is, and the way he is with his own body and with his own ego even. But yeah, the Pisces stuff and the Chiron with the Saturn and duty and responsibility in the 4th house and his Mercury at 4, home and family and women, is going to be really kind of a strong thing here. I got a kitty cat knocking at the door. I just wanted to check this real quick before I move from this chart real quick for him in this chart. He's going to have, so Venus is the benefic. And Venus was in the 7th house, which can be beneficial because it would be partnerships. Okay, so here's the other date. This is the other thing that was at my head. And now, it was Neptune, so that makes a lot of sense. Because his Mercury is at 4, right? Again, mom and family comes up again because the Neptune's going to leave the 3 degrees. and it goes to 4 degrees. That's a big deal for him. It's a huge deal for him. Yeah, so Neptune goes... he's probably already in this, though, because it's a 2 degrees away. But see this Neptune here? It's going to touch his Mercury. You follow? Which means Neptune also will be at 4 degrees. So family or home or mom, again, comes up, or feminine, strong feminine energy. And Neptune can make someone, there can be a lot of confusion over somebody. Neptune can be hospital energy as well. Neptune can make our mind foggy. Communication, I mean, we talk to them, they talk to us, and there's a lot of miscommunications, lost communications. How many times do you guys get a text message or an email or whatever? Like I just had in the chat, I did someone's chart and it was all wrong, right? Like shit just gets all messed up. That's probably going to be prominent. But because, again, this is in his 4th house and it's at 4 degrees and there's wounds here and stuff about the past, home and family and mom is strong, and Neptune can dissolve energy, and it may represent some difficulties with someone's health, particular mom, family members, and women. Okay, so that started. He's kind of already in it, but it goes all the way strong. And again, it's because we were looking at the 8th house too, and when you look at those things, especially when someone's mentioning, insurance or inheritance, then we think, oh, well, that only happens if somebody passes, right? So yeah, that runs all the way to June, mid-June. And then Neptune starts a retrograde there at the 4 degrees. So it's that tells me it's not a quick process like this whole thing I just talked about. There's a long process connected to us, okay? Poor guy, 8 women around him. No, that's okay. I know I was talking. I was just babbling because I wanted to get it off the screen. I got to get this cat. Well, that explains a lot. That explains a lot. Women are so strong in his chart. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Where are we at? Is there anybody here? Donna Marie is next. Who's after Donna Marie? That's a damn question, right? Let me let this kitty cat out, even though she's just going to come knocking on my door in 5 minutes, and I can't do that. I have to keep it closed. All right. So hold on. Let me get this cat. You want to go out now? Okay. I'm not going out there. I'm trying to do this. Go on. Okay. I don't see a doctor chart. What the hell is all that about? Alrighty, so really seriously, what about, let me see, let me scroll down. Yeah, you are welcome, Donna. Thank you. Thank you for the channel gift. So April says, I'm here if I'm next. That's the way to do it. Yeah, I have no idea who's next. Let's go back and look. Wild Moon Child, I think, was before you, though. But let's take a look. Brandon Bailey. I love that people just come in and they're just like, hi. As long as everybody comes in a good way, I got no problem. It's the folks who might come every blue moon. They don't come in a good way. Like, I don't welcome them at all. All right. So I don't know if Aurora was like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm never coming back, because I would have just said, let's get to your chart. But I don't see another email by Aurora so that I could get all the digits correctly together at the same time. Okay. So I already did the doctor. Did Stacy. I did L Sharp. I did healing readings by Donna Marie. Karmic Karen, are you here? You're actually next in line. Is Karmic Karen here? You would be next, according to this. After Karmic Karen, we'll start with Karmic Karen is number 1. After that, yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. It's 6 o'clock. After that, I'm scrolling. Okay, I already did Aurora. Aurora left. Then it's April. After Karmic Karen, then it's April. I'm just going through the chart and seeing who goes in order. Victoria, I think I only saw your name once, but yeah, you'd be next. But again, you know, some of these. Lorraine here checking in from Oregon. Hello, Oregon. Lorraine, do I have your digits? Christy, are you here? Christy would be then after that. I'm just going all over the place. How about Mary Homeopathy? Where's Mary Homeopathy? Let's get Mary Homeopathy on. Oh, we already did Mary Homeopathy. What am I saying? Damn. So Mary Homeopathy got in front of all those people? No, she was up at the top earlier. All right. Let's see who's still here. April's here. Okay, let's just do April. Nobody else answered, so April, you're in. It makes sense to me. That's the way to do it. I don't know why I can't. Oh, I see. Okay. No wonder it was all weird. April, do I have your digits? I emailed you. The subject was April reading. Okay, did you email me recently, like today for this live stream? I'm looking at my email. And do you know what my email is? You see that email right there? Allastrology@gmail. Yeah, that's my email. Allastrology. That's the email address. Because I don't see your email. You might have spelled it wrong. I know it's a long name. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you, Dr. Art, for the gift. Yeah. So if I don't have your digits, then I can't give you a reading. That's how it works. Oh, yeah, you could do it that way. Yeah, I don't mind it being done that way as long as they're all together. That's where it gets tricky. If it's not all together, then sometimes it's like the subject was April reading, really. I don't know where the hell it went. Okay, let's get you some other. Okay. All right, July 21st, 1992. All righty. Really? Is that a real thing? High level? Wow. High level. Interesting. Have you seen your chart before? April M7, have you seen your chart before? I have a Aquarius on the ascendant. I have a moon in Aries, and I have a 29 degrees sun in Cancer. Does that sound like you? April, are you saying yes, that's me? Let me get this off the screen. Does that look like you? 27 degrees Aries, Aquarius on the ascendant. And we've got a sun at 29 degrees in Cancer and the moon 20 degrees in Aries. Woo. Okay. That makes your moon, other than loving things that have to do with being first and leading, your moon is deeply intense. It doesn't have just the Mars power, it carries the Pluto power with it. Deep, intense emotions. Like if you're going to get fired up over your values and money and love and desires, holy shit. Going to be really intense stuff. Yeah, this is like, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you for it type of energy. Woo. Yeah, it might not. Yeah. Again, this is just what I see in this chart. Let me double check. You know, sometimes the tech gets really weird and I'll put digits in and it gets, I don't know what happens. The shit just changes. So I have July 21st, 1992, 8:35 p.m. Oh, this is 10:36. Where the hell did the 8:35 come in at? What the hell? Okay. Yeah, this is some tricky stuff. I really thought it. Yeah, I'm just losing my damn mind. Okay, we have 10:36 p.m. Let's try this one. How about this? Oh, this really changes things. Holy shit. This makes an Aries on the ascendant. Aries moon at 21. Oh my God. Wow. So there's no Aquarius rising. Wow. So we don't know. Nobody knows, huh? I'm just saying. I have Alberta, Canada, 10:36 p.m., July 21st, 1992. That's what I have. Yeah. There is another way. I could draw it up in another system really quick just to verify. Because I do know that every blue moon, this software has like this really weird glitchy streak in it. And I shouldn't say every blue moon. Matter of fact, I think it did it to me the last time I was live for one person. I was like, are you effing kidding me? All right, so let me try this in this other system that I have real quick over here. And let's see. If we can draw this up for you. Oh, I mean, it's for me too, actually, because I just really want to know, like, what's the problem here? Yeah, it's not moving as fast as I would like. So spoiled. Okay, so let's try this. Did you confirm those digits are correct? Just so I don't want to put incorrect digits into this other system. Oh. Well, let's try this out here. Let's see what this one gives us. All right, July 21st. Let's see what we get. 1992. And we're going to go with 10:36 p.m. And you have written down high level. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And see what this system shows us. Show the chart. Oh, Donna, you know what I need to do? If you're still here, I need to show you that other chart for you. Okay. This one's showing an Aquarius rising at 5 degrees. All righty. That's how we get this shit accurate. Okay, let's see if the system will let me get this in here. Okay, how about this? How's that? Look good? Yeah. There we go. We got it. Shazam. Woohoo. Oh, I'm quite happy about that. All right, never seen your chart before, but we got you. I know, finally. High level province is Alberta, and it's in Canada. Got it. Sorry. Okay, Aries moon at 21 degrees. Ooh, you have Pluto right now sitting on your ascendant. So how has life been? You've got Pluto on your ascendant. Changes coming? Have you been making subconscious changes? Possibly with your appearance? Have you been thinking about that? And it might be more of, I don't know, a calling from the deep, urging you to maybe do something drastic with your hair, even possibly, or something drastic with the head. You know, you've got 5 degrees on the ascendant, which can be a really creative degree. And Pluto demands deep changes, though. Like, it's not just, you know, some flimsy little thing. It's more of a, might even have something to do with the history in the past. That's for sure. Pluto ultimately wants to bring about some change, to bring about healing and elevation. So with that said, let me see what else we're looking at. You have 26 degrees there. You're 29 degrees. And that's, okay, so that brings Venus as your, let's move this out of the way for just a quick second so I don't squint. All right, yeah, there's your great benefic, Venus, 10 degrees of Leo. Wow. Okay, interesting. So the Leo energy is strong on your descendant, and you even have Leo in the 7th house. So again, very theatrical, dramatic, creative, hair, again, costumes. We think theater, really vocal. These people usually, even if they're not like performing and singing, these people can be yellers, screamers even. You have Mercury in Leo, and it's at the goddamn Leo degree. Whoa. Now, this is in your 7th house of partnerships. So this means that these are the kind of people you're going to attract to yourself. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not also like this. It just also means that, yeah, because, what we are is what we attract. But partnerships, you have Chiron at 11, group energy and friends. There's pain there. There's a wound from that. But your Venus is connected to it, and she's your great benefic. So what that tells me is that Venus can bring and show you early on the gifts. When we have a wound and we go through something, especially in partnerships, but something about being really different and unique and unconventional partnerships, there might be some blessings mixed in with that, because that would be Venus. She likes to usually bring gifts and fun, children, joy, creativity, some romance. My happy place, laughter is huge. Laughter would be big. Comedy, that would be really big there in those partnerships. But talking and communicating, siblings, coworkers, they're part of this energy too for you. But yeah, Venus at the 10 degrees, that's like boss energy, feminine energy, boss energy, Venus at 10. So as far as partnerships and a spouse, that's your 7th house. Not sure how familiar you are with your chart. Oh, wow, you have Jupiter conjunct your vertex. Holy smokes. That means when fated things occur in your life, they're usually pretty damn big. Again, this is in partnerships. Look how effing big your 7th house is. You've got damn near all of Leo. You've got all of Virgo. And you've got 24 degrees of Libra. Holy crap. Wow. It's probably a really good thing that you have a Leo, or I'm sorry, an Aries moon then. The thing with this Aries moon, though, because here's the thing, 7th house energy is all about how we have to compromise. Because it's not about me, it's about we, right? And you have all these signs here, a lot of planets. You have fated energy here, which talks about, well, your fated energy in Virgo has to do with desires, money, and values based on the practical, tangible things of life. It can be deeply critical and have an eye for detail, can be strong with crafting energy, actually, when I talked about Leo being creative, but also crafter energy. But real practical, down to earth, and connecting the dots in service. And how can I make this better? How can I make you better? Or you should do this way. You know, that Virgo energy that we all have. I know how you can make that better. Oh, you should do this. Because yours is connected to Jupiter. This can be boss energy that comes in and says, this is how it can be better. It can be you just get these ideas, but it's really connected to you appear maybe to be the jack of all trades even. Again, partnership energy. So whether you're married to somebody like that or you partner up with people who yeah, strong domestic and service one-on-one energy. This can be home healthcare workers, people who just do like the everyday, regular, mundane stuff. That's strong energy with Virgo stuff. So your vertex is there. Some say that this vertex, this VX that I'm pointing to, represents, it's like they call it your super ascendant. So it is your physical appearance and your body. And Virgo being, yeah, the jack of all trades, but the master of none type of energy, kind of like Gemini, but you know, Virgo sees all the details, the minutia, and might get lost in the details and the minutia because it's striving for perfection. That can be tricky. So if you have this energy in the place of relationships, there might be a little bit of illusions and delusions and looking for the perfect partner or the high expectations for sure, conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter can be idealistic and having really high expectations. Oh, Lord. This trines your Uranian energy and your Vega. So you may have had some beneficial stuff happen with the relationships, even though there's a lot of unique and different unconventional stuff here. But there can be a benefit with Vega and Jupiter and the vertex. But Jupiter tends to present lots of options and choices, but it can make things confusing sometimes or way the hell overconfident. So with the Virgo stuff, a flood of details and a focus on the itty bitties. I think it's I think it's beautiful to have the 3 different signs in the 7th house. Because if it was just this Virgo energy, I think you'd be in big trouble. Because, I mean, it can be very nitpicky energy and it can make life, if you have to share a life with somebody, it can make it like, oh my God, enough already, you know? So having the Libran energy of compromise is a blessing there, I think, and fun and laughter in Leo absolutely can truly, having those both on the other side of Virgo can really, it can make the Virgo energy more fun and lively. And yeah, just take a break, dude. Have some fun, have a drink, have a good time, chill. But very lively energy, very lively energy. But yeah, the Virgo energy, definitely about health, big time. And a big benefit focused on health as these nodes were going through here. Because the nodes, yeah, now they're getting quite low, but they would have been training the new and doing something different in a long-term goal. Now the nodes are sitting like at 8. So you're going to have a nodal thing happening. Let me give you a little bit of, oh wait, I should put the transits on first. That might help. Yeah, the nodes are going down. You see, your node, you have a north node, what I'm doing for my goals and my career, my work. You have it there in Cappy at 0. Oh, you've got number 11 popping up in a couple of places. Okay, 11th house, 11 degrees on the 12th house, mystery, the occult. You've got karmic energy at 11 degrees. Again, this is all science, technology, astrology. This is all of that. You're going to have this node talking to your node, which is going to ask you to get on track with your north node. So if you're not on course of where your north node wants you, it's working with technology, but group energy, humanitarian type energy, very altruistic energy. Your 11th house is hard to see. It's really freaking small. Your 10th and your 11th, really tiny. This is also known as the house of gains, Gains. So with the node connecting work, Virgo energy, my job, my projects, my partnerships, my tasks and routines, connecting to your long-term material financial goals, your Capricorn North Node. This connection can get you more aligned with the altruistic kind of energy of being the boss of your own life. It talks about stepping into maturity, taking ownership of your goals and your own ambitions even. And so is the South Node my superpower, right? What I'm really good at. Obviously, you've got a lot of Virgo power there, and it's going to talk to your North Node. So this is June. You're going to be feeling this at the very end of May, going into June. It's going to start talking to that. So it asks you to honor the words discipline and patience and think long-term visions. This is what it's asking you to do, to really focus on that. And if you're ever caught in a quandary, like you're not sure what to do, you always go back to the question of what's my long-term goal? And you stay on course with that. It calls you to rise above fear or hesitation and to embrace the authority that naturally grows when you commit to your goals. There's a deeper purpose that we all have connected with the nodes. This is like soul purpose energy. It's about creating a life of integrity, accomplishment, and inner strength. And your nodes at 0, that's quite powerful, quite intense energy. So with that said, at the same time, you might feel like, okay, is this a little bit of a trick bag? Because on this time in this chart, you are going to have Mercury over here going through your 6th house of home and family and the health of family and home and mom energy. There can be mother wounds that come up. There can be some Pandora box kind of energy, which can be thoughts about the future, but dipping a little bit into the childhood stuff and thinking about that and how it relates to present day. Can even be, mom energy and being a mom when we talk about mother wounds. But it all kind of goes back to your moon again, because an Aries moon really wants freedom and wants to be, it's one thing to make all these commitments, but there has to be scheduled time, alone time for Aries energy. If it doesn't do that, it's going to walk through life pissed off at everybody else because it didn't cut out time for itself. And it's not everybody else's fault, right? But we blame everybody else. This is energy I'm really familiar with. We blame everybody else because we can't get what we want done or whatever. We can't do what we want to do when we want to do it. But it's our responsibility to create that in our calendar, to put it in there, to pencil ourselves in. If we're not doing it, then it can create that anger. And so that might be tricky at times. Oh, well, stick to that. Stick to that. Absolutely stick to that. Yeah, even if you feel like there's a temporary setback, that's the thing about your North Node in Capricorn. Capricorn is about setbacks. It's about stop signs. It's about slowdowns. We're supposed to expect those automatically because they're all there to test us. That's the whole point of the slowdowns, of the rules, the regulations. It's to see if we are disciplined and if we're still going to follow through. Because the ones who can't follow the rules and who can't stay disciplined enough, they fall away to the side. They weren't serious. And that's the whole point of it. So yeah, you stick on with that. All right. You are welcome. Hey, Steffi G, how the hell are you? I know it's Mars Day. I don't know. For the few weeks now, I'm like, okay, I just can't get to enough people on Saturday nights because I've cut Saturday nights off. Well, I'm private on 2 of those Saturday nights out of the month. So I've been saying that I'm going to try and pick it up on a weekday at some point in time. And so that's what we're doing. It's a little bit different. And is there any meaning having my Aquarius at 5? Yeah. Yeah, there's meaning. That's that Leo degree. It's all about the hair. It's about fun, children, joy, creativity, romance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are so welcome. The kitty cat is back again. So Donna, let me get your chart up in here. Let me show you this chart I got for you. I have it in this other system and I have it up right now. I know Taffy's like, where the hell are you? I hear her at the door. Well, you know why she's asking me, because she wants dinner. She's like, knock, knock. All right, let me see. Who do I have you in here as? Damn, I think I just have you as Donna. No. Okay, you're the other Donna. Okay, too many Donnas. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get this one in the live stream. Let's go like this. And see if this works. Oh, you know what I should do? Hold on a minute. I forgot. I can expand it in this other thing. Did it let me save it? Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I know I sent it to you, but that's okay. Oh, I already had it on my screen. I'm a ding dong. All right, let me do this again. Let me do this one more time. Oh, I wonder if that's the right one. No, that's not the one I want. Hold on, I'm getting there. There we go. That's the one I want. I see it now. Okay, we got you. Here you are. Yeah, unfortunately, this one doesn't get, well, let's see. It's not going to let me get as big as I want to get. Oh, yeah, it's letting me expand it a little bit. And then how about this? Oh, yeah, nice. Okay, let me get that off the screen. There we go. Oh, that is sweet. Okay, I'm liking this. So, yeah, I don't know which one was better, but that's okay. We're going to go here. So, yeah, Reiki. Look at this. And you have it in Virgo. I about flipped when I saw this. I was doing some studying, and yeah, I came across the Reiki asteroid, which I guess is extremely old. And the system I use won't pull it up. The system I use, the ephemeris doesn't go, the dates don't go back far enough. So astro.com does have it, thank God. And yours is in Virgo, alternative healing methods, Virgo energy. We think of yoga, we think of holistic stuff when we think of Virgo, right? What about Reiki? Yeah, so you have that. You have it at 24 degrees. Oh my God. 24 degrees. What's crazy about that? It brings in the high levels of intuition. It also brings in healing because we think Pisces, healing institutions. 24 degrees. It also speaks of the soul energy in the past. Okay, let me go get this cat. So just think Pisces, think Neptune, think Jupiter. When you look at that 24, let me get this door, this cat. Come on in. Well, I'm not going out there yet. I'm almost done. Are you coming? No. She doesn't want to come in. Oh my God. You're not going to believe this. I opened the door and she refused to come in. She's like, you follow me to the food bowl, damn it. All right. So, yeah, the Reiki in the 6th house. That's the other thing. It's not, it's so wild, Donna. It's part of what you will do for a living. I mean, it's part of your daily routines. Like, this is it. This is like what I do for work. It's crazy. It's right in here. It fits right in. So how does that work for somebody who has, because it's all well and good, but it's like, well, sure, I can do some sessions for people and help people out, but I need to eat, I need to pay the rent, right? So the reality is, can I make money off it, right? Can I do that? And will people find value in it? Will it be something that will help sustain me? You have a chart that has air in the 6th house of work, day-to-day workly routines, projects, tasks, and health. And you also have air here, right? Now, in your 6th house, you also have some of your Taurus earth energy. No, I'm sorry, your Taurus ends right. Your Taurus ends right here. But you have your earth, Jupiter here. That's what I should say, at 16 degrees. So I think what will happen is you see this Uranus right here, right? The nodes are already here for you right now. Like you have the South Node sitting here at 8 degrees, which means it touches on your Uranian energy of technology, new and different. It's also very, very independent energy. Now, you're 24 degrees, and thinking of the intuitions and it like some past life stuff, right? The number 8's that as well. And so I feel like there's probably connections happening, especially um, this is your Virgo energy right here, 6 degrees. So if there's things with your body even, because this is the South Node touching your body, and it's even at 6 degrees as well, which is wild, more Virgo stuff. And you know what? This would relate to, I think, some of the things that you had mentioned already before, maybe even on the last live stream possibly, but I see the Saturn is up above. I would say that the Reiki stuff, because your Saturn, you have work. That's the connection. You have a Saturn in Pisces, right? Which brings about, which is what your Reiki is at the degree of. So there's some deep connections in different ways in the chart for you to be doing this. When we go back to income and money and your Jupiter being there, what's going to happen is these nodes are going to travel and they're going to get here. They're going to go into your 5th house. And the 5th house stuff for you, children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, that's all going to angle and square the Taurus energy. So it does create some stress and tension. But I think what's going to happen is as it moves through here, it's also going to be, you're also going to have the North Node up here in your 11th house of group energy, of new and different. And of course, technology. But this is where the North Node will be. And see, wherever the North Node is, that's where we're like blazing a new trail. But it's our knowledge of the history and of the past, our superpower, that comes forward. So again, what I like about this is you have like a lot of ancient knowledge, a lot of different healing modalities, because this is just a healing degree. And it has a mentality of service, like to serve, which is really, I think, probably the most underrated energy that exists. Everybody just looks up to people who are like rock stars and superstars and, you know, whatever. They're public figures, they're whoever's. But I feel like the service energy is so important. And I wanted you to see the Regulus here. We have a Regulus, which is really now in Virgo, like at 0 degrees. And when the South Node gets there, I know I just went backwards and now I'm going, or I went forward and now I'm going backwards. The South Node's going to trigger that point, and it's not going to be at 8. It'll be like at 2 degrees when the South Node gets there. And that will be a time when this kind of energy really, I think, has like a springboard effect to it, where it really can be more under the spotlight and have more recognition and even be considered more normal and more part of everyday life and routine. So, with all that said, that 24 degrees and the Earth energy will, as the North Node is up here, there is some uncomfortableness. And it does show whether it's online or with group energy. But I think the uncomfortableness is only because it could be, you know, something unconventional, different, and new. Because this is what we call a quincunx. So it's, yeah, uncomfortable. You have the Cheroklo right there too. She's like the wife of the healer, the wife of Chiron. And she's at 27. Again, that's social media. That's using social media, working with technology, working with group energy. This is also friends too. So whether that means we're saying goodbye to friends and making new friends, whatever it is, I think some of those powers maybe powers is the wrong word, but whatever you want to call it, a knowledge, like this ancient knowledge. I think it's a big welcome to be connecting with your Reiki, and also because it connects with your Venus and your Mercury. Now, this is a square. It is a square. But it's okay that it's a square. Your Venus and Mercury get along really well. This is in the house of money and finances. So it says that there will be stress and tension, that it's not just super easy, but it does not mean it can't happen. It doesn't mean that at all, especially since we think of Neptune and we think of the Jupiter being very beneficial energy. But Venus is your great benefic in your chart. You see? So your Venus and your Reiki, your Venus and your Mercury, really together as a team, connect strongly with that Reiki energy for you. So I love this. I think it speaks to an adventure. I think it speaks to coming across and meeting and lots of exposure. Networking is huge energy here, group networking. Because again, when it comes to that 11th house, sure, it's an angle to the Reiki stuff, but it's a nice trine. It's a really nice, strong, supportive trine to all of this. You see, Reiki's in the middle of it all. So it almost looks as though like all the other type of communications and networking you do, sorry, it's going a little ballistic on me, through talking and using all the digital devices and the significant relationships and streaming and whatnot, Reiki's still buried in there in the midst of it all. So in other words, it's almost like you could use the Reiki as a, whether it's an add-on, but my point is it's part of the tools. It's part of the tools that will be in your bag or that are in your bag or that you already have, that you already know how to use. Your Pluto's even at 11 degrees. Yeah, networking. Your Isis at 11 degrees. Group energy, networking, unconventional, different, streaming. Like this is all here. But networking on a very large scale. Your Eris at 11 degrees. Wow. You got a lot. You got a lot of different stuff that's at some really interesting degrees. Different and unconventional. It's like the name of your game. Oh, the trigger for it all? Oh, what the hell happened to the chart I just had on the screen? This cat. Taffy, I hear you out there. You're going to have to give me a second. I know. I'm coming. I promise I am. Okay. We're going to make Donna Marie the last one. Okay. How about that? Is that fair? She's on the outside of the door and she's like, meow. She's doing the I'm dying meow, like I'm withering away. It's a half hour after dinner. Don't do this to me. Help me. Okay, so she said, when is this going to trigger that south node? You're already in it. The south node's already touching your Uranus energy. You're already in that. So different, unconventional, surprises, new, exciting. These are all going to, within your day-to-day routines, possibly work. Health can be part of it too, if you're doing different health routines. And it would likely be you definitely on your own switching up your day-to-day routines, not just your work routines, but things that are geared towards your health, and you focused on that. And then South Node brings like a superpower, can bring some of the practical knowledge, for sure. Practical knowledge, but you've been in this. We've all have been in this. And then there will be some very strong discipline in here too. The only thing is the node, there might be struggles with, authority figures because you have your Saturn at 4. So, let me show you what I'm looking at. Don't squint. To tell myself, don't do that, damn it, don't do that. Yeah, so this is probably going to get a little bit more tricky within a couple of weeks. Because what's going to happen is it's going to start angling up. The nodes will start touching strongly. Once they hit 7 degrees, which is really soon. I think that's this week, actually. Yeah, because you got the Uranus there at 6. So it's authority figure energy. There might be like an aversion to other people and authority figures, or feeling like, challenging the authority, because Uranus says, don't tell me what to do, damn it, And so your Saturn, but see, it's connected, like there's emotions to it. It's connected to dad energy. It's connected to boss energy. It can even be connected to, a friend, especially if it's people who are involved in the streaming or technology in some way. But there's like history connected to all this, and emotions. There's deep connections to the past and restrictions related to that, and slowdowns. But yeah, April 16th, you'll feel it stronger. And as the weeks go on, you'll be in that cycle, starting like this week all the way until, I'll give you an all clear sign, because the nodes are going to go past your Saturn. Yeah. It goes all the way through May, pretty much. I hear you. So it's not until we get into June that you start feeling, at this time, from now until then, you may feel an increase in fear, possibly. They say Saturn's connected to fear. And remember, this is connected to stuff that's way back. Other lifetimes, other realities, whatever. But you also at the same time have there's supportive trines going on. Like Mercury is up here and it's trining Saturn. It's trining the nodes. Like there is some beneficial energy where there's beneficial like communication and some ease of communication, because that's the main thing. Keeping the doors of communication open. So I feel like you're going to be fine. Even Venus is trining your partnership energy. It's like a nice exact trine at this time. Yeah. So if anything, some irritation, some agitation, might feel like the same old in some ways. But with a node on the Saturn, the node talks about the future, and Saturn, of course, my goals and my work. There just might be something that you're switching up for sure. I even feel like I've talked about this in the past, possibly, because this all seems really familiar. Or at least it's starting to feel really familiar. Like, didn't we go over this? We might have. Yeah, so this is like the beginning of June, like June 4th, June 5th. Then that's when it's starting to ease off a little bit. But remember, thoughts about work and duty and responsibility, and possibly a change. But basically be a change because you're ready for that change. Mm-hmm. Okay. The cat is, I don't think she has any claws right now, but if she does, she's really messing that door up. All right. It is already going on 7. So we're going to end, I think. Yeah, we begin at 5. Or did we begin at 4:30? I think I went over 2 hours. Mm-hmm. I hear you. I hear you, little girl. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are welcome. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. There can be some things that come. But it's always good to take another look. It's always good. All righty. We are all set. It was great seeing you, Steffi G. Thank you for stopping by, Donna Marie. And thank you so much for the channel gift. I greatly appreciate it. And for everybody else who sent the channel gift, thank you so much. And if you are watching and you didn't get your chart looked at, go send me an email. Let me know you want me to do your chart. So the next time I'm live, and we never know when it'll be, but the next time I'm live, no, Saturday night? No, actually this Saturday will be the astrology class. Yep, that's a private thing. So if you want to get in on that, send me the email. You can send me an email at what is this crap? What the hell? Okay, I was pressing buttons. Yeah, send me an email. It's right there on that thing on the screen, allastrology@gmail. If you want to get in on an astrology class, or if you want to get in on the April private lives. I think I've got one spot left. That's the last Saturday of the month. The astrology class is coming up this Saturday. It is the second Saturday of every month. All right, so with that said, that means that the first and third Saturdays of the month are Saturday nights on YouTube, live stream in the star room where we see the stars. All right, so that's it, guys. We're all done. You take care. I am getting out of here, and everybody have a good week. And hopefully, if I don't see you in the astrology class, hopefully then I will see you at the next live stream the following Saturday. All right. And then we'll see when we can do this again during the day, during the weekday sometime. All right. Take care, everybody. And thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.